This and That podcast, starting now.
Well, hello everybody.
Hey, hey.
Get that angle right. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. This is Kim Cook,
And this is John Ragusa.
and welcome to our little fun show. Uh, this week we're changing up a little bit. We're actually going to do a format. Try to stay on a path. We won't. We'll go off.
You're funny, John.
But movie theme is kind of the thing, which brings me to the shirt right off Jump Street. This was an appropriate movie to take your kids to in the '80s. Anybody in the comments list
In the
what
80s.
movie? Oh wow, this is hard. Back this way. What movie? I can't do it. What movie this shirt is from? So it should just be boom, boom, boom. But what movie is this shirt from? And then of course representing Cat in the Hat, Dr. Seuss,
Had to dig out the old teacher shirt.
absolute favorite author. So before we get going on that, how was your week? Anything new, exciting, wonderful?
My week was busy. We had, some puppy classes with Ramsey, and he learned a new trick.
What did you learn?
He was terrified of getting in the car to go any place, and so he thought he was jumping into the mouth of the dragon.
Okay.
But this week something clicked, and he's happy to jump in and happy to jump out, which makes my life a whole lot
Do
easier.
you take him everywhere? Like, are you that? Are you that-
I want to at some
you
point,
take him
but he's
grocery store
not.
and all that.
yeah,
lie
he's-
and say he's a service dog.
No, I'm not going to lie and save his service dog.
Everybody else does.
That's not okay. But I'm not going to because that's not
Okay.
okay. But I do want to take him lots of places, and he's going to be 150 pounds, so I certainly can't lift him.
So you need a saddle.
Right?
You need a saddle. You'd be like She-Ra. No,
Giddy
She-Ra had
up,
a
Ramsey.
unicorn. She-Ra had a unicorn thing. I don't know why I know that. I didn't watch it religiously.
Whatever.
Well, it was a hot He-Man. It was
Whatever.
like, okay. Anyway.
But so anyway, he learned that, and then we've had some out of town guests from Montana. Our friends Mark and Allie are visiting
Mark
us.
Alley, you're not watching this. You're probably on your way back to Montana.
No, they are on their way to Outer Banks today. Go see his
Have you met Scarlett?
daughter.
My daughter Scarlett.
No.
Her middle name is Montana.
Look at that.
Look at that. It's
I love
a
it.
small world.
So yeah, so they're on their way to Outer Banks, and then they'll be back Monday, stay for a couple of days before they head home. So yeah,
Nice.
There's a Netflix
Well,
show
safe travels.
called-
Enjoy.
There's a Netflix show called Outer Banks.
There is a Netflix show called Outer Banks, and we should do a television show. We could do a crossover episode too as well.
okay.
But yeah, this week we decided to try to stay in one lane. I was
What
told
about
last
you,
week-
John? How was your week?
Oh, how was my week? My week was pretty good actually. I made a Scott Hole is the vice president of the Rock Lobsters, who are
Oh
coming
yeah,
right here
yeah.
to Athens. And we met. We kind of hit each other. A friend of mine, Felix from Bass Cat Catering, who
Mhm.
we always mention him. Shout out to local businesses. Him and Kat are killing it with Bass Cat Catering. So they were doing the welcoming to the Terrapin at the Terrapin. Did a welcoming for the Rock Lobsters. He was catering. He said, "Hey, I know a guy. This, and
Got a guy.
that's how we do. That's how we do. No, not the Bob Slocum. Hey, I got a guy. I
Oh,
know
not
a
that guy. Okay.
It's when you're in this little clique.
Okay.
It's our own little clique.
Okay.
It's Felix, awesome. I'm awesome. You can watch us be awesome one time, but I don't know if you're going to be in the clique. you can be a groupie for the clique,
No.
but it's hey, you got to know this guy. Like when you walk up and you go, "This is a friend of mine." That means you shouldn't talk to him about too much. But if I say, "Hey, this is a friend of ours," then we can talk about business. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that rule.
That's an Italianism.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
Italian,
If I
so I
say,
didn't know that rule.
if I say, "Hey, this is Luca, our sound engineer, Luca." If I say, "Hey," he's gonna throw me something out. It's upside down. It's backwards. Oh my gosh, he's gonna make me be old on camera.
Pinned
I gotta
to
get
the
my
top.
glasses to read.
Pinned
And above, tell everyone. Oh, we have merch available in our store. Our humble little comedic mind has come up with these products for you to spend your hard-earned money on, just to support charity, which is my dog's middle name. No, it's
Charity
all,
needs bones.
It's all going in my pocket, kids. So
Charity needs
buy
bones.
Buy a lot. My pockets are thin. Anywho, threw me off thought process completely. No idea where I
You're
was.
talking
Okay.
about the Italian thing?
Oh, Italianisms, which is from a movie. So yeah, if I say Luca, he's a friend of mine. Well, that means we can talk to him about baseball and stuff like that. Blah blah blah. If I say, hey, this is Luca, he's a friend of ours, then you can go, hey, are we still robbing that liquor store this weekend? Because he's not going
Oh.
to say nothing because he's a friend
Oh,
of
because he's a friend of
ours. He's in the
ours. We're
in the
same.
family. In the
Okay.
family.
Okay, good to know.
So
Good
yeah,
to know. I'll know that
you
from
know,
now on.
well, you know, like The Godfather,
Right.
Goodfellas. These movies educate you. They're not just entertaining gangster films. Their educational value is very high as well. Sopranos.
Oh yeah.
Most people learn how to be Italian-ish from
Ish.
Sopranos.
That was a great series.
So let's jump into this movie pit because I am a huge movie fan.
But wait, I have one more thing to say.
One more.
We went to the
No.
food bank opening, the
We-
ribbon cutting,
Did we?
and I did not see you there because you came to the chamber meeting. I saw pictures of you on Facebook on our from our friends.
No.
Yeah, and I was what?
My name's Kim Cook. I showed up at the food bank, but I left awful quickly.
I'm not a member of the chamber.
Because you went to the ribbon cutting only?
Yes,
Everybody
because
else stayed.
because-
Everybody else stayed. They actually were talking about this.
They told us we had to
They
go.
may have put a gap in between, or they may next time because there were a lot of people that stayed from the ribbon cutting, which is fine. Athenites are all welcome. But actually, at the food bank, now that you brought it up, that was an interesting week thing. I get there, and when you pull into the food bank, there's a giant hill. You kind of go uphill
Mhm.
to it.
Mhm.
Well, we're coming down the road, and there's a car stopped in the middle of the road sideways.
I heard about this.
Apparently somebody was leaving and somebody was speeding, and I'm not in the middle of the accident. I know neither party, but clip, everybody was fine. But as I'm pulling up to it, I've got my wife in the car. You know, we're all, hey, we're gonna go mingle, and we get three from the entrance, and Seth Bagwell comes in like Barry Allen from Flash, just whoop, and it's like he's out there, he's like directing traffic. And I'm like, this kid's a natural. He's done this before, of course. And I saw him for lunch yesterday. Never directed traffic before. It's like amazing. Now, so he jumps down. So he finally waves me up, and I was like, hang on, I'll help you real quick. So I parallel parked my truck beautifully,
Mhm.
which my wife was impressed about
Right.
because it's a giant truck, and
Yeah.
men can parallel park. I think that's
I
anyway.
can parallel
so
park,
you are not a man. So
but I can do it.
I ran down the hill, and my wife just sits in it. I'm like, I'm sorry. And she's like, no, go do you. So I threw on my safety vest for safety and then
Yes.
grabbed an umbrella. And there were a group of like 5
'Cause it
ladies
was
by the car.
pouring rain.
You know, they
Pouring.
knew who got in the accident. You know, she just left the chamber or the food bank.
Mhm.
So they're all standing there, and I just walked up and was like, hey, can one of you hold this? Because if my mom sees me sitting here with an umbrella and 5 women getting wet, I will die.
Right.
Not that my mom was going to drive by. She doesn't drive.
No.
But anyway, so I
However.
give them, and then we just sat there directing, like it was kind of YMCA-ish. I'm like, doo, doo, doo. But it was just like a construction worker. There wasn't like Seth didn't have a costume. There wasn't 3 other people doing it, so it wasn't
Right.
totally. But anyway, everybody was okay. Is the important part. And then I got to go in and enjoy myself for about 20 minutes before they shut it down
Mhm.
because I was out saving lives while you were in there partying and apparently leaving early because you didn't even see the motor vehicle incident.
Well, I was there
So-
for the invited part of the ribbon cutting because
I was
Richard.
there for the invited part of the cool kid. Oh, remember that click?
Yeah.
Spectator. Click. I was clicking
Thanks.
and you were leaving early. Next time, say, hey, I know Ragusa. And you could have stayed the whole night. partying
Okay,
it down.
but the reason I was there is because Richard's dad, Richard Boone Sr.,
Yes.
was the
I know.
founding father of the food
Of the
bank.
food bank?
And did you see the hallway? Did you take the tour and
I
go down Boone Avenue?
did not.
Okay.
I'm going to go like this. But I
Okay.
did not
All
because
right.
I was out directing traffic. And then by the time I got in, it was
Oh,
like,
you were
hey,
late.
hey. And then they're
You
like,
were-
okay, everybody, 5 minutes.
You were outside playing in the rain with
I
your
was outside
friends.
playing, splashing in puddles. Seth and I were splashing in puddles. That's all. There was no accident.
Playing in the rain with your friends.
I was like, hey, man, me and Seth
Missing
haven't
the
hung out.
important
Hey,
part.
puddles, look, duckies.
But
There
you
were no
know,
ducks
the
either.
good part of that is at least you didn't mess up your hair.
That's true. That you should hit the laugh on the keyboard for
Is it
that.
working?
I didn't mess up my. It is working. Okay, so let's get into this movie business, this monkey business. if you will.
Okay, all right.
Also, I was starting to say Rock Lobsters, Scott Hole, VP. We may in the future be working on him being in
Being
one of
a
these
guest.
seats.
Okay.
Or perhaps Coach Steve Martinson would take that slot. But we're
Wait,
working
hold
on
on.
that.
Also
Also,
this
but wait,
week,
there's more.
there's more. I told you it was a busy week.
Mhm.
I've been working hard on getting ready our board, not just me,
Okay.
the Ashton Hope Keegan Foundation board. Our
Which-
gala is on August 3rd in just a few days. And
Just
so
a few days.
we're getting everything ready. We're working really hard on raffle items and auction items. And so I was helping Kim Keegan with all of those things. And so our production assistant is going to put in the Ashton Hope Keegan Foundation's website in the chat. If you want to go to our website, the purpose of our foundation is to end generational poverty by giving women scholarships to help them get their education.
Is it on this notebook?
No, I wrote it on his.
Oh, it's on that one. Okay, just go ahead and
Yeah.
type in the comments so they can.
But you can go to AshtonHopeKeeganFoundation.org
Oh, sorry.
and
That was me.
and go to the hamburger. Click on it. You'll see
Ooh,
our events and the
hamburgers.
gala.
You had
Yeah.
me. You had me at hamburger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
always. I love a
always.
good hamburger.
Yes.
So anyway, we would love to see you there. It's going to be a night of fun and frivolity and fundraising and fancy dresses.
And where is this located?
It's going to be at the Cotton Press this year
which is
in Athens,
in Athens,
Georgia.
Oh,
So if you're in the Athens area,
we are here.
please
We're in
join
the
us at
Athens
the
area.
gala.
Are you?
Yes.
Except for Steve in Utah, you should be.
The
I don't
theme.
think this has gone nationwide yet. I think we're
I don't
still
think so.
city.
Yeah.
Which is fine. This is about Athens.
No, someone watched it in Texas, right?
Wow, mine
Oh
is
yes,
big.
that's true. Yes. Our first
Michelle.
episode.
Was it not
Michelle, yes.
Ah, see, it's up
Um,
here somewhere.
So
Funny.
the theme of the gala is a golden evening in Paris.
And that is August 3rd, which is next Saturday. So
No,
will you be
Saturday
there?
after next.
Next Saturday is
The
27th.
27th, yeah.
That's right. Okay. So 2 more Saturdays.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 more Saturdays. So get
Well,
your tickets. Come
get your
have
tickets.
fun with us.
The link is right there in the bio comment section right now as we speak. So let's get to movies
All right.
because this is a fun thing for me. Okay, what is your favorite thing about movies? What do movies mean to you? Who's your favorite actor, your favorite director, your favorite series, your favorite one-hit wonders? What was the first cinematic experience you had? You know, I had been to the movies before, but then one day I watched this movie in the theater and I got it. That movie. What is that for you? What's your
Well, we talked in one of our episodes about early childhood memories, and I remember going to the drive-in with my parents, in their 60-something, 70-something
Okay.
Chevy.
Okay.
Yeah, and seeing, I believe it was Cinderella on the
Like the animated
the
Disney?
animated
Okay.
Disney Cinderella, the OG, and I remember that. And then the first like theater experience that I really remember
Mhm.
was when I was it was a friend of mine's 8th birthday. Her name's Jennifer. She lives in Texas, and we all of our little friends, we all went to see Grease, and John
Okay.
Travolta bammed on that screen, and we all said, "Ah!" He was
How'd it
cute.
go? Wow, that's crazy. So he got the Elvis welcome.
He
'Cause that's-
did.
that's
He
what the
did.
Beatles welcome.
Man, he
Okay.
was something. He was something.
He still is. Honestly, he still is something.
Hmm.
I mean, you can have your Hollywood rumors or whatever. What he does at night. What he does at night is what he does at night. Acting wise,
Hmm.
he's still. I mean,
Yeah.
he's finally come around to the.
And that was one of the things that
rocking
I
the
was
Solar
going to
Dome,
bring up later.
which
So,
was strange.
yeah,
Seeing him bald,
Yeah.
is just because he always had
because
that,
he had the
"I'm
hair.
Vinnie Barbarino."
Yeah.
Who knows Vinnie Barbarino? We got my wife just commented. I am signing up as
Oh,
a
thanks,
volunteer.
Shannon. Thank
for
you so
that.
much.
She's the Ashton
Ashton Hope Keegan.
Hope Keegan. Hope. I forgot your maiden
Is there
name.
an age thing?
Um,
Can anyone sign up, or does it have to be 18?
We'll have to check. Go on
yeah,
the
check-
website
check
and
on the
check and
website.
see.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
sure they
a
have a
sign-up
contact-
genius for that.
A sign up thing saying, "Hey, you can help or you cannot help." So yeah.
So
movies.
that was.
So
What about you? What was your first
see,
memory of cinematic experience?
My first memorable cinematic experience. I'm trying to think year wise and stuff. I don't remember drive-ins. I don't remember ever going to a drive-in movie, say, for when I was 20s, late teens, early 20s, and living in Hollywood, Florida. There was a swap shop. You know what a swap shop is? A
Yep.
big flea
Yeah.
market, big thing. It was called the swap shop. It probably still is called the swap. I think that's like cockroaches. That place would never die. It's there. It's not all bad, but a lot of it's bad.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Been
they
there,
have a
done that.
drive-in theater, and when you're really drunk and you see this giant movie playing in the sky, you pull like 2 blocks away and go, "Oh, look at that!" I think I did that a few times. So I hate to say I never ever saw a drive-in movie, but I don't coherently remember ever paying for drive-in ticket and sitting and hearing the movie, seeing the
Well, I
movie.
didn't pay for it.
And
My parents did
it was
because I was 4.
Well, no, I mean like watching the movie from 3 blocks away. It's kind of like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know what he's saying. That movie. Speaking of movies, Boy Kills World with the guy that plays Pennywise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but there's a character with a full beard, and you can't. He reads lips, obviously, because his character's deaf.
Mhm.
And there's this guy with a big bushy beard, and he's trying to get the plan from him. It's like Ramalama Ding Dong. It's like that's not what he said, and he's thinking, his inner monologue going, that can't be what he said. He must have meant something else, and it is. It's just Bill Skarsgård.
And
Bill
Tim Curry too.
Skarsgård. Tim Curry played the
There's been
original.
yeah.
Did the original Pennywise.
And he
which
was
It
crazy.
was so. And his
Ooh.
birthday a couple days ago, 76 years old. Happy birthday, Tim.
Happy birthday, Tim.
Always welcome to see between us. Somebody's gonna. I'm telling you, there's gonna be an actor in Hollywood who is just bored and Saturday morning
Scrolling?
just like, oh god, I'm so tired, and we'll start hashtagging like, oh, Tim Curry, Bill Skarsgård, and he's gonna go, what's this buddy like about me? I'm gonna go on that show. I'm gonna do it. And I don't know why I sound like Russell Brand right now, but I'm gonna go on that show right now. I'm
Yeah.
not on methamphetamine.
Lilliput. I don't know who that is.
See, that's Russell Brand.
No, Lilliput.
Oh,
Our production assistant is telling us to look at that.
Lilliput.
Lilliput? I don't know.
Click on Lilliput. Let's do some movie learning. Lilliput is an Indian actor and writer. Lilliput. He's like the prince or the Madonna. He's not like the Madonna. He's a male, but he's that guy that's just cool. Who else? One named actors.
Okay, we're
McGee was a director.
I don't know. Oh, he
Wow,
was a
he's done a lot.
clown. Oh, he played a clown in 1998, but
Okay.
not Pennywise. Okay.
So where is these are overseas
here.
movies? No, what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
He's not an American actor, which is why
He's probably Bollywood.
he's probably Bollywood.
Yeah.
Awful presumptuous of our teacher to make that jump. He could be Canadian.
He could be Canadian.
He could be
But I don't
Pennywise
know.
actor. All right. So
Oh, I bet his clown name was Lilliput.
Lilliput. No, that's his name.
Yeah.
Oh, that's his name?
Yeah, that's his name.
Okay.
I want to be one name one day. If you could be a one name actor, what would you act?
I got to think about that.
Oh.
I'll think of it while we're doing our movie stuff, and you think of yours too.
Mine would be Academy.
Could it be 2 words?
That way, every time somebody wanted an Academy Award, they would think it's an award named after me. Like, who's this guy? Oh, that's Academy. So that would be my thought. All right, here's some fun movie facts, just to jump right into. These are yours. These are mine. Gosh, I hate being old. Can't find them without them. All right, Round Hay Garden Scene is the first real, first filmed something.
Okay.
In 1888 in England by Louis Le Prince. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Louis or Louis Le Prince. That was the first filmed
action film.
action. It wasn't a film like a movie though.
No, but it was
just
recorded.
a scene,
Yeah.
a recorded scene.
Yes.
The first movie credited is The Story of the Kelly Gang in 1906, directed by Charles Tait. Tait, I believe. And then the first Hollywood movie, the first ever Hollywood movie, was in Old California, probably in Old California back then. I don't know. In 1910, and it was directed by Mr. D.W. Griffith. The Story of the Kelly Gang is a 1906 Australian bushranger film.
Well,
directed by Charles Tait.
It's funny that you say that because Old Hollywood and old California. I listen to on Sirius XM. I listen to classic radio.
Okay.
And the announcers always called it on the radio. They always called it Los Angeles instead of Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Los Angeles, and it it makes me laugh because of how language evolves. But yeah, they probably said here in Los Angeles, in
Well,
Hollywood,
like Kentucky.
Kentucky,
It's not Kentucky.
I like
It's Kentucky.
Kentucky. Oh yeah, because it's
You
the
know,
Indian. Yeah,
it's the Indian
Kentucky.
word for it, but there's Kentucky now.
It
Or
is
Villarita.
Kentucky. Kentucky.
Villarita.
My grandmother said it Kentucky.
Kentucky? Like
Yeah.
a guy's name? Like Kentucky?
Yes.
Kind of works down.
Yeah.
Down
Yeah.
at Tucky's Bakery. Go see Ken. And then what was the first speaking movie? What was the first
The first
movie?
talkie?
Yeah, where they had not a talkie where they threw up the like I want to date you. You're funny looking. Not that talkie. Like where it was like
No.
somebody went, "Hi."
I know
I'm
those are
what?
called talkies.
Okay.
That was
See, I thought
what was the
talkies
first.
were the bull.
Mm-mm,
Okay.
What were the first talkies?
What
I don't
was
know.
the first movie?
I don't know.
Al Jolson was
Al Jolson, really? I don't know. I
in
don't
the
know.
jazz singer.
Oh, cool! I
In
should have known that.
19
I've heard that before.
In 1927.
In 1920. And you know what?
And that was
What is it?
The jazz singer with Al Jolson.
Alan Crosland is the director of that. Jolson. The Al Jolson. Nope, just Al.
Well, that's him.
Oh
That's
no,
him.
jazz singer, not Al Jolson. Jazz singer.
But just the jazz center.
Jazz.
It's right there at the top.
Okay.
That guy. So anyway,
Anywho,
that talkies, deaf people loved movies, silent movies, because the actors were so like
Animated.
they acted animated, they
Yeah.
acted big,
Right.
everything. Talkies came along and deaf people stopped liking movies because they couldn't understand, because people kind of calmed down their body movements and their actions, their facial expressions.
so they got bored.
So they got
weren't
bored with
watching-
it. Yeah. Because they saw this.
Like Chaplin. Chaplin had to be.
Yes. And did you know
Laurel and
that
Hardy,
that
they spoke.
a very important and famous deaf actor studied?
Marley Madison.
No,
Marley Madison.
no. This was a long time ago. A male.
Oh,
He studied with Charlie Chaplin.
really?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know
I didn't.
that my wife
Yes.
has to read the movies
Why does she have to read the movie?
because she cannot watch a movie without the captions on? I don't know if she's afraid she's going to miss a word or a clip. Why do you, honey? You're there.
I
do
recently
you
found out
have
that a
to
lot of
have-
women do that.
It's
I
like-
do that sometimes.
I can't hear the movie without my subtitles.
I don't know. Maybe we process
do it.
differently.
It could. I mean, like if somebody's talking fast or a tremendous dialogue,
Kids.
kid,
The kids are in the room. She
she
can't hear it.
responded, "Kids," which is why at night when we're in our room watching television and there's no kids around, we still have to have the words on.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't focus on the actuality.
Because you're
I
reading
have
the
to-
captions.
Right, exactly. I'm sitting there, music in the background.
Mhm.
And then they have stupid words. What are some of the stupid, excuse me, burping everybody's face? Melancholy music.
Yes, they do.
Well, like Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy and Infinite Sadness, or Sad Melancholy music.
They do that.
And it
They
is,
do
it's
that
like-
for the
and then
deaf.
yeah, but then I go on this. Okay, they do that for the deaf.
Okay, let me
Let's touch
explain.
on this for a moment.
Let me explain.
Layman's understanding.
Okay.
Deaf person who doesn't know what melancholy music sounds
They
like
do.
because they've never heard melancholy music, nor have they heard
But they
death
know.
metal,
but
nor have
they-
they heard the Beatles or that country hack. What was that? Elvis. Oh, I'm just kidding. Look at the face. Oh, she's in trouble. I'm in trouble. Okay. So anyway, what?
Okay,
Go.
so deaf people do enjoy music,
Hey,
but they also understand the description, of course, because they know language. They understand that melancholy means sad. So if they put up there that melancholy music is playing, that the scene is sad. But if the people look sad, but there's cheerful music playing, there's a disconnect that we hear they can't see. Does that make sense? They need to be able to know
Kind
that
of, but-
disconnect is there.
And I'm definitely not mocking. Don't take this. This is one of those discussions. It's if you don't know, jump over to the most recent deaf movie I've seen. Boy Kills World, not the best one probably, but he's sitting there and this guy hears that one of his boys died or something,
Mhm.
and he's sitting there and he's leaning on the guy's shoulder. You remember this, Luca? He's leaning on the guy's shoulder, going, and the deaf guy whose name is Boy in the movie goes, what? He's he's upset. What? I've never heard a human cry. I wonder what it sounds like. And he's looking at him, and they play a chimpanzee in the background.
Hmm.
And it's like, wow, a deaf person has never heard it. They can sing,
Yes.
but they don't know if it's or if it's
Right.
so that would be hard. That's what I don't understand is how do you interpret, you can feel the rhythm, you
Yes.
can see the
Hmm.
emotion in good actors, you can see the emotion in their faces and the whatever, but you can't hear the inflection of their voice like you were saying.
Right.
So how do you know the music is sad? Because everybody has a different,
Because of the captions.
like Justin Bieber music to me, it's sad. No, I'm sorry, Justin. I
So
don't
anyway.
I don't want you on the show.
You don't want me on the show?
No, Justin.
Oh,
Justin
okay.
Bieber. I want you
The
on the show.
Biebs.
That's why
The
you're on the
Biebs.
show.
Okay.
The Biebs. So those are the quick movie facts of the world.
Okay.
So first movie, first speaking role. What is your favorite type of movie?
My favorite
Like
type of
if you
movie.
can, or what are your pocket movies like? In our house, there's this movie called Losers.
Mhm.
It's like it's based on a dark comic, but it's one I could just throw in, and whether I'm cleaning the house or just I
That
don't
you
have to
listen
watch
to
it.
while you're doing stuff.
I don't have to watch it, but it's
You
in.
listen.
They remade the A-Team
Wow,
a
I
few
hate
years
this shirt.
back with Liam Neeson and Rampage Jackson, Bradley Cooper. Oh God, the guy that played Murdoch was amazing. And I'm missing his name right now. It'll come back around in 10
Mhm.
minutes. But that movie I can just put in, and it's just fun. It's a fun movie. It's you can put it in.
So the one that I never pass when
Yeah,
I
yeah.
when
If
I
you see
hit it on
yep,
TV.
there you go. The one
There's-
you click. Oh,
There's a couple. First and foremost, Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump I will
Really?
listen to and watch and watch and watch every time it's on. And another is Overboard with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. Okay,
I love that
I've seen
movie.
that. I've seen that
Yeah.
a few times over the years.
Yeah. So
Forrest Gump, the real
Forrest
see
Gump.
Forrest Gump for me. I watched it, and I think years later, or maybe I caught a scene here and again.
Mhm.
Luca was it a month ago? Sat down and watched it. What's your take on Forrest Gump? What type of movie did you find it to be? Like, was it funny? Was it historical? What was it like about?
It was funny and a little bit entertaining.
A little bit.
A little bit
Sorry,
entertaining.
Tom. It was funny and a little bit
So
entertaining.
a lot of Forrest Gump for me
All right.
is
Oh, it had Elvis in it, of course. You like.
well, yeah, there's an
Right.
Elvis throw out there. Yeah.
Right. Oh, remember later in the movie, as it gets better, John Lennon's in it.
Yes.
So anyway,
So yeah, the historical thing, but you know what a music lover I am.
right.
So the connect of the historical with the music and how the music plays into it so much into the story,
Okay.
and
Okay.
that is like the perfect storm for me for a movie.
Okay, a movie soundtrack is very important. I'll give you that.
Yeah, absolutely, for me especially. So, what about you? Well, you just said
Well, yeah, I
Losers,
just said a couple of my. I mean, I've got a list here. I'm sitting there going, "Man, if I ever did a movie episode,
Mhm.
what would have to be in it?" And it's, I've touched on it before. Full Hall Junkies. That's one of my top movies. Independent film. Mars Callahan.
Let me borrow your pen.
Christopher Walken. Just it's a great movie. Help from the Beatles.
Okay.
Help is a movie that I saw when I was let's guess 9, 10. My
Mhm.
brother Gary had this movie on VHS, and I watched it every time I went to his house, every time I went to his apartment, every time I went to the studio, every time I went to anywhere. He didn't have all these places; he just moved a lot.
Mhm.
Sometimes he had a house, apartment, or studio. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. He moved all the time. Anyway, he had this movie Help from the Beatles, and I was a big Beatles fan because of him and everything. And I was amazed that the Beatles they were a band that did acting. It was like I didn't understand it, but I was infatuated. It was a great movie. It still is. I have it. But anyway, 9, 10 years old probably. I acquired that from my brother, meaning I took it from his apartment.
Oh yeah,
I
you
took it back to
acquired
my
it.
house.
Yes,
I
yes.
acquired it.
You acquired
Italians
it.
don't steal.
No.
We acquire items.
Or borrow
Oh no,
indefinitely.
Nah, I don't borrow things.
Okay. I borrow.
Generally, it's known acquisitions. It's not. I don't love thieving. But no, if I like you and I admire, if I come to your house every time and go, oh, I love that Sasquatch. You can't see the Sasquatch. There's a Sasquatch up there. Oh, I love that T-Mobile light that you have. I love it. It's and every time I go to your house, I play with it. And then one day it's gone.
Hmm.
You go, Ragusa finally took my light. It's fine because he will cherish it as always. Always, like when he sees it, he'll go, oh, I miss it.
Okay.
But so anyway, when I was, and this is after VHS, this is probably when DVDs were very prevalent. I gave it back to him. I was like, hey man, in case you're ever wondering, that was me. And he's like, no shit, really? He knew. But my wife got me this box set years ago, and it has pictures of the Beatles and a copy of the script, which was amazing because I know that movie word for word, and having the actual director's notes and it was very cool. It was very cool.
Okay.
So helps on there. Alice in Wonderland. There's a version of that's amazing. They've remade that
I
movie
cannot
so many
watch that.
times. Any of them or the new ones?
Yeah.
Like Alice in Wonderland at all?
No.
Animated?
No.
Live
Can't do it.
action? Johnny Depp? Remember the Johnny Depp one where
Yep.
they paid
No.
Johnny
That's
millions
even
of
worse.
dollars
That's even worse.
to look like Elijah Wood? Did you not see the cover? They said, "Here, Johnny,
No,
this is
I
a
avoid
stock
it.
pile of cash. Now we're gonna make you look just like Elijah." I really feel they could have saved money if Elijah would have done it, but Johnny wouldn't be working. Johnny would still be working. I'm a big Johnny Depp fan, also. I'm sorry.
I love Johnny Depp.
Okay, I'm sorry because I know
Yeah.
the female population is split on him, and
Oh, I love him.
any male who's been in a toxic relationship is like, oh no.
Oh.
If he did hit her, it wasn't
Amber Heard.
justified.
Woo.
Amber Heard. It wasn't justified.
Yeah, that was craziness.
Semicolon something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have one for you. Your favorite movie that you loved to watch as a child when you were a child.
Like childhood movie would be. Oh my goodness.
The one that you acquired from Gary.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Help would be probably one of them.
Like when you were a little kid?
When I was a little kid, I think Fox and the Hound, I think was my favorite Disney movie.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, like that was my favorite. Everybody was all, Peter Pan and all that. I'm like, Fox and the Hound, dude. They're like besties.
What do you got your son's name?
You know what? It's so hard. It's so hard because I movies are so much of my life.
Yeah.
I was the kid that like my first legitimate like adult 17 job was Blockbuster.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
I was IMDb. Bring it.
Yeah.
I was IMDb before the
Yeah, you had to be. Yeah.
And people would come in
No
and go,
internet.
hey John, here like 3 movies, hand me 3 movies back, like, hey John, these were great. What do I want to watch tonight? And I'd go walk through the store with him. What'd you like about that one? Okay, try this one. You like that actor? Try this one and go. And on rare occasions I'd have somebody come back and go, I didn't understand.
You lost me on that one.
90% of the time it was like, yep. And I would literally hand them movies and just go. I love movies, always had a passion to be in film. Made one big Hollywood movie called Big Trouble with Tim Allen and Rene Russo as the headliners. And then I had kids. Here's my movie career. Here's kids on my movie career. It was just, I didn't have time to go to auditions and to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to be involved. I didn't want my kids, not any Hollywood people who have pulled it, but I can barely navigate this for an hour staying focused. There's no way I'm going to take my kids on the road and have any kind of time with them. I'm going to go to a hotel room. I'm going to pass out after shows. I'm going to go to rehearsals. There's going to be groupies. I'm only so strong. I mean, look at this. So I just decided to put the acting down for a while. And a while is up. I'm back. Coming for you, Hollywood. Coming for your heart. So yeah, that's
I would say that mine.
It's hard to say. Yeah, I don't have a favorite.
You know, I watch. I'm advanced enough that I watched The Wonderful World of Disney on Sunday night.
Okay.
And I always loved when Return to Witch Mountain came on.
Return to Witch Mountain.
I loved that one.
Didn't the Rock? Didn't Dwayne Johnson? No, I think he was still the Rock then. Didn't he redo that race Race to Witch Mountain.
I
Race,
think so. Yeah, something to Witch Mountain. Yeah, I never
wasn't
saw
there?
that
Yeah,
though.
I have. I've seen all of them because of my kids. But I think that was. I don't know if it was My Side of the Mountain. I don't know if that was Disney or not.
No, I don't think so.
But I think Harrison Ford just redid that.
Huh.
Just did that. Oh wow, we're looking up John Ragusa in Big Trouble. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be. I was in 3 scenes for like on film. It's like that, but like that scene, and then at the end, I get my big scene.
Yes.
It's where the actor who's playing Banky, I think was his character name,
Uh-huh.
played by the amazing Jason Lee. I don't know if you know. I Am Earl, Jason
Mm-hmm.
Lee.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there and he's been trying to get Fritos through this entire flipping movie. All he wants is a Frito, half Frito. And he's in the airport and he looks over and there's a Frito machine. And if you look right in front of the Frito machine, you'll see a gentleman who appears to be reading a newspaper.
He appears to be. You
I
weren't really
wasn't.
reading.
Oh,
You
hell
were not
no.
reading.
But if you watch that movie, you're like, hey, that guy's reading the paper. That was acting.
I know that guy.
Wasn't reading a word.
You were too busy acting.
I'm going to take that as my audition film. Big Trouble, 2002. It was a Disney film. It was actually a Disney film. Oh gosh, go to the cast real quick. Let me run down the cast. Barry Sonnenfeld directed. A great guy. Tim Allen was in it. Was not a great. I had a bad experience. I watched a bad experience with Tim Allen.
I hear
And I would
a lot
love
about
to
that.
I would love to have him on the show and see if he remembers it and if he's remorseful. Because that's things.
Mm.
Like, what about those actors that
Probably
do
not.
bad things?
Yeah.
You know?
We were talking about that a minute ago. How do you feel about actors who are great actors but have a bad reputation?
But
Or supposedly
Okay.
do bad things?
Okay.
Like Tom Hanks
Bill Murray.
in Forrest Gump.
Bill Murray. Okay.
Mhm.
I promise you, growing up, like I watched all of his movies, not just his movies, but I watched all movies, and he was in a ton of them, Ghostbusters, blah blah blah.
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
My mom thought he was funny, thought he was hilarious. I promise you, he did Kingpin. Have you ever seen Kingpin?
I have seen parts of Kingpin.
He was like a sleazeball, just a scum. He was really like a scumbucket.
Was he being himself in that movie?
My mother apparently thinks that's the first time she ever saw Bill Murray in a film. Go back for a second. I want to see something. And she hates Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Like literally, like wishes him ill and all.
Oh wow.
Right. Like my wife, I used to think she really liked Sam Rockwell. Do you know who that is?
No.
He was in a movie called Moon. He was in Iron Man 2 as Justin Hammer. He's been in so much.
Okay.
Pull him up real quick so she knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. I thought she loved. He dances in all his movies. He's great.
Who?
Sam Rockwell. And my wife, I thought she loved him, so I used to get like all his movies because I think he's great. And that guy.
Oh yeah.
Go down.
Oh.
He's great. Okay,
he is great in the Green Mile.
Yes, the Green Mile.
That's another one that I will watch over and over and over.
Green Mile, Argyle, which I haven't seen. Yeah. 3 Billboards in Edison, Missouri.
3 Billboards is great.
I didn't know he was in Bad Guys. And my kids
Iron
have watched
Man,
that.
yeah. He is a great actor.
He's a great actor, right? Okay.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that. He's not a household. Like, not everybody knows
but
Sam Rockwell. But his faces.
His faces, yeah. Yeah, there he is right there in the Green Mile.
Doesn't that suck, though? Or to a degree, does that not suck?
It does. Nobody knows your name, but everybody knows your face.
Flipping here, man. You are like De Niro, Pacino, Walken, Rockwell. Who's this Rockwell you speak of? Are you serious?
That's not John Ragusa. That's not our John Ragusa in those images.
That'd be nice if it were, though. That guy has abs. I have one centrical ab. It's terrible.
You have abs. They're just under.
The only thing, you know what I tell everybody, honestly, and anybody who's seen me in the gym gets it, like, I can lift whatever, bring it, challenge, accept it. If you had a body that was steel, you'd put padding on it.
Right.
You pad it. So
there you go.
So you didn't break the steel. So yeah, Sam Rockwell. All right, go back to the cast because I want to get through. Tom Sizemore, great actor, great guy, very personable, very uncomfortably personable. He didn't want to talk to you, but he wanted to.
Okay, rewind a minute.
Yeah.
Back up. Please talk about your bad experience with Tim Allen.
Oh, bad experience with Tim Allen we're sitting there, and it's actually Rene Russo countered it completely. We're sitting there, and we're extras in this film called Big Trouble, which was shot, I believe, in early 2000. No, it was early 2000. It was shot.
2002.
Luca, can you spell our screen again for us,
Let
please?
me tell my story, and then you can tell me the Google facts. Because no, it changed, and I'm going to
Thank
tell
you.
you why it changed. In 1999, 2000s, when we filmed it, there's a scene in it where they're trying to get a bomb on a plane. Well, it was due for release in like October of 2001. If anybody remembers September 11th,
Oh
2001,
yeah.
we
Do we
want to be
remember?
Disney releasing a film about a bomb on a plane a month after that.
Mhm.
So that was it. Big Trouble. Everybody was going to see that acting like he was reading scene.
Yeah.
It went up here on the
On the
proverbial movie
shelf.
shelf
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
2002 when it was safe to put a bomb on a plane, and they released it, and nobody remembered doing it. Like Tim Allen was like, "I did that." Rene Russo was like, "I've done so much since because I'm so brilliant." I mean, she's great. But anyway, so we're sitting there as extras, and Tim Allen's just talking to his assistant, and he wasn't happy. You could tell. And
Mhm.
this little bitty kid walks up, 4 or 5 year old kid. I mean, I've got kids now, so I can gauge a little better. And he's walking up, and he's just looking up, like, "Hey, Santa Claus," because I think Santa Claus
Yeah.
had already
The
come
Santa
out.
Claus had
And
already
that's all
come
the
out.
kid was doing was like stargazing. Literal, you're a big movie star. I'm a little ass kid. This is the coolest experience since
Ever.
we went to Disney.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
Oh
Because
my
I'm
God.
seeing you in real life on the
And
street.
Tim Allen looks down at this kid and like literally goes, "Whose kid is this? We can't. This can't happen. Whose kid is this? Who's?"
Aw,
And
that's not okay.
that's not okay. And it wasn't. And maybe Tim was having a bad day. Call me. Put the number up.
He
Call
probably
me.
doesn't remember.
Well, if
I've heard that he's not a nice guy.
I heard that he is, but I heard he wasn't, and now he is, and I'm an advocate for that. If you can pull that man, do it. But all he had to do was go, "Hey, buddy," and that kid would have shot off like a little fox back to his parents, wherever the hell they were, and gone, "Santa, Santa, hi to me." And he probably, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the kid. If he's 4 or 5, he's probably putting complete sentences together. My Maddox is 6. He's still chopping sentences,
Mm-hmm.
but he's like a beautiful mind at the same time.
Yeah.
Like he's telling you all these things that are happening, and the speech just isn't caught up yet.
Right.
So you want to believe him.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that was my Tim Allen experience,
Yeah.
and it was kind of. Now Rene Russo, on the other hand, they had these ropes, so when the stars are walking through, you don't touch them or breathe upon them. This is pre-COVID too. You couldn't
Right.
breathe-
Yeah.
couldn't breathe on
Pre-COVID.
back then
Yeah.
either. So they had the ropes, like at the movie theaters, the
Mhm.
pylon or the
Mhm.
steel posts and the ropes.
Mhm.
And she's like, "Whoa, crowd diving, taking camera pictures with people."
I love it.
She was the sweetest, and she's not really hard to look at either. Just to
She
throw
is.
that in
She
there. I
is
was
quite
single then.
attractive.
This is before Shannon, when you had a shot, Renee. Sorry, I've moved on. But
No
you
shot
know,
Renee at all now. Sorry.
Lethal Weapon 3, I definitely would have let you marry me. I was much younger, but who cares? Stanley Tucci was in it. He's an amazing talent. Tom Sizemore, Johnny Knoxville, Roll Down for Me, Goose. Just it was such an amazing experience. Anyway, that is one of the
Dennis
movies.
Farina. I like him.
Dennis Farina, Patrick Warburton.
Wait. Back up to Janine
The
Garofalo.
Eminem guy, Janine Garofalo, and Patrick Warburton were the police officers in the movie.
Uh-huh. I've always wondered about Janine. Is she a mean girl?
She was cool.
Okay.
She was cool. We didn't have any, obviously, front and center.
Oh, Zoe Deschanel.
But
I
she
like
was,
her.
huh?
Zoe
Yeah.
Deschanel because of Elf. I love Elf.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's great. Ben Foster, I think, I'm not positive, Ben, I could be wrong. I think this is one of his early films, but he was very, like, before the camera came on, he's one of those actors that, like,
Got in the zone.
gets himself, like, probably like me, like, dude, your mind's all over you, dude. And he literally stops. He's like, okay. And that was one of the first actors, like, in a film that I saw do that. Like, take that reset before a shot, before shooting. Drop down one more. Janine Garofalo, Ben Foster, Zoe was in it. Heavy D was in it. Omar Epps, Jason Lee, Sofia Vergara, Andy Richter was in it. Michael McShane, and then it gets into extras.
Mm-hmm. Where you won't show up as newspaper
DJ
guy.
Qualls. No, I will not be in this because I have never. I could though. I could pay for IMDb and be on there. But then the coolest part of that experience, Mark McCauley, go back up. Mark McCauley, who is in every single movie ever made in South Florida, at least.
Okay.
If you saw his face, he's just Mark, M-A-R-C.
Yeah, I see him. Yeah. He's a lot of bit parts.
I was in decent shape back then.
Hmm.
A little smaller than I am. I was a stand-in for him, which a
Oh,
stand-in is he's a little too busy to be standing there getting the lighting right and the
right.
shading right and everything.
Yeah.
So they say, "Hey, you
Come over
stand
here.
here." So
Come
I'm
over
standing there,
here.
and they're like, "Okay, now turn. Now say this." And I'm like, "I'm gonna get a part. This is the shit." I'm like, "Oh, it happened! It happened!" You know. And I'm like, "Yep, standing." And yeah, here's my line that you just told me 2 seconds ago. See how quick I memorized it. Blah blah blah. And then they're like, "All right, we're ready to shoot." Thanks,
See you.
buddy.
Thanks. Yeah.
And then Mark McCauley walks in, and I'm like, which the amazing thing is, I knew him because his wife was my agent,
Hmm.
Lori Wyman talent. I imagine she's still down there getting it hard, man. She was the talent agent,
Okay.
or is. I'm sure I just haven't spoken to you in years, love. But yeah, so I knew him, and I was like, "Hey, Mark," and he's like, "Get out of my spot, bitch." I was like, "Oh, excuse me," and I didn't realize that that's what the thing was. They have stand-ins for that purpose.
Okay.
So
So
yeah, that was my Hollywood experience.
awesome.
Resume's available.
I
If
don't have one.
anybody needs it. You don't have like you've
I don't.
never have you ever seen a movie being shot or anything like that?
No. No.
No. Have you ever driven by like so Sylvester
Mm-mm.
Stallone being
I
in
lived
Winder a
in
few months back was
I
like
lived in
cool for you.
obscure places and didn't see that.
See,
But
they film
here in
obscure,
Georgia,
right?
right here in Newton County, Covington, right
Right
there.
in the midst.
Yeah, we have Covington,
Mhm.
which is where one of my childhood favorite television shows was filmed, The Dukes of Hazzard.
The Dukes have had racist.
Uh-uh.
Oh my God.
I want to go hood sliding like Bo Duke.
You want to go say that again?
Hood sliding like Bo Duke.
Hood slide like Bo Duke.
That's in a country song.
I saw that somewhere Dukes of Hazzard is racist. And I don't want to offend anyone who thinks it is, so I'm going to stand by. They have a Confederate flag. They're all racist, sir. No, I'm just kidding. I actually love that show. I just got that show on Vudu. Do you have the Vudu?
I don't.
Sorry, Fandango at Home, formerly Vudu.
Fandango at Home. Okay, no, I don't have that.
They pulled the prints. Yeah, I used to have an extensive VHS collection,
Mm-hmm.
and then sold that off years after I should have made nothing off it. And then same thing with DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
Blu-ray, luckily I didn't get soaked into Blu-ray.
Yeah.
My Blu-ray collection was probably in a few dozen.
Yeah. Tiny.
And then Vudu came out, and I'm like, I have kids at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the hard thing about being an ad. I mean, literally, the wall behind me was probably half of the DVDs I had. I had this shelf, probably 8 foot tall, 7 foot tall, 9 foot wide or so DVDs. Now here was my DVD collection though.
Okay.
Sectioned, like every Johnny Depp movie was in a section.
Okay.
Every Walken movie was in a section.
Uh-huh.
And then if they weren't like, oh my God, actors, the Kevin Smith collection, all his movies were in
Okay.
one spot.
All right.
And then I had all of them alphabetized. Like literally, I'd get a new one.
Uh-huh.
I'd have to move one
Mhm.
and shift the whole. I was OCD as could be with it. Well, my kids are starting to get older and just they do this.
Yeah.
And they don't.
And they put the
They don't rub
DVD
it,
in the wrong
and they
case.
they put the little grubby fingers on it.
Yeah. My kids put the
And
wrong
little grubby
DVD in the wrong
fingers had
case.
stuff on them. It wasn't human oils and stuff that you could wipe off. It was stuff that
It was
when you
peanut
went
butter
to
and
wipe,
jelly.
it was a grit. One not like grits, but like grit from candy or grit from dirt. And you'd wipe it and then you'd so my DVD collection became like I'd go to watch a movie and halfway through so Voodoo comes along and I'm like, yeah, any device, anywhere, watch it on my phone, do this. So I don't know how long I've had Voodoo. My wife will be able to pop in there. But your boyfriend came here. Hey, your boyfriend came here.
He came back and he did dime me out with Forrest Gump. I'll watch Forrest Gump every time it goes past.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, Covington
Movie Garden.
We were at
Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard,
and your DVD and Voodoo.
And Voodoo. So Voodoo comes along. Thank you. Gosh, 8 avenues. I told people. Voodoo comes along and you can just stream and it's always there. And unless there's like this giant, like if Matrix ever happens and the EMP goes off, my movie collection's gone and I'm not starting over.
Yeah.
But until that happens, like when they change from Voodoo to Fandango, I'm like, something's gonna glitch in the next couple of days. They're all gonna be wiped out. They tried charging tax for like a week. There was 1 week I bought a movie and it was like a different. I was like, tax? How you taxing a
free thing?
You can't. So anyway, I now have 1,300 movies
Oh,
on
wow.
this
Look at you.
and like 30 shows. Dukes of Hazzard
Is one being.
being one of them
Yes.
that was just on sale.
Well, okay,
So
not
it's
to
very
get off
good.
on a tangent, but we'll
No,
talk about
we do
70s
that.
TV sometime.
Okay.
But so, yeah, I also want to ask you the movie that you've never seen that everybody else swears by.
Oh God.
That and when you say I've never seen that, they go, you haven't seen that?
I had so many, like working at Blockbuster, they had the trailers. Do you remember Blockbuster?
Yeah,
You'd walk in and
absolutely.
they
I
do
remember.
3-minute clips of every movie that
Mhm.
this month, coming out this month,
Yeah, yeah,
and then coming soon. And it was 3-minute clips. I didn't have to watch the movie. I knew the synopsis, I knew the plot, I knew
Yeah,
who was in it,
okay.
I knew. So I didn't. Animal House was one forever. Like I don't think I watched Animal House till like the early aughts, as the
Yeah,
kids call it, the early
right.
2000s,
The early
as the
aughts.
real people call it. I
I'm
don't
going to
think
tell
I
you
saw it
mine.
till I
I'm
was
going to
like
tell
30
you
something.
mine and see if you go, you've
Yeah.
never seen
Okay.
that?
What?
Because Animal House, that didn't really surprise me. I've never seen The Princess Diaries.
I think I have because I had daughters, but I don't think I actually sat and watched them. I think it was like, oh yeah, let's watch this together,
Well,
honey.
thank you for being the one person in my life
Yeah.
that has said, you have to
No.
watch it. And I'm
Really?
like, no,
No, I'm not.
no,
I'm not. We were talking about that.
no.
Me and a friend of mine were talking about the other day, like TV shows. It's TV
Mhm,
shows,
mhm.
but it's like I don't like trending. if a movie like critically acclaimed, you have to watch. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. On the flip side of the coin, if the critics are like, this is the worst piece of crap movie I've seen in years, probably gonna say, hey, can we get a sitter? I want to see this in theater.
Okay, yeah.
It's strange because some of the greatest movies have been, or mine, some of my greatest movies have been obscure, not
Sure.
Clerks wasn't well received.
Hmm.
My mom, bless her, had to listen to that movie God knows how many times. But no, Kevin Smith. I mean, that was his first movie made on a budget and nothing. And if you watch it with the appreciation of films and the story he's trying to relay about his life, it's brilliant. And it didn't take a big budget, and it
Hmm.
didn't take special effects.
Okay.
It took storytelling, which is where
Yeah.
actors versus movie stars.
Right.
There's a difference.
Absolutely.
I've always been a fan of we are all actors.
Sure.
You act like
Yeah.
a supplement salesperson at
I
this
do.
phase in your life.
I do.
You act as a dog care groomer person, fur baby, whatever you're doing
Trainer.
with that.
Dog trainer.
A dog trainer.
I act that way.
I'm acting like a father. And here's the facts about it. Before you got that position,
Hmm.
you didn't
weren't
know how
that.
to do it.
Yeah.
You had to learn how to do it. You had to learn the right lines to say,
Hmm.
what not to say, how to stand, how to inflict your voice,
That's
high,
an
low.
interesting. That's an interesting.
All of us
thing.
are. I've
Yeah.
always said that everybody's born an actor, and you just go from there. You're
Mhm.
in your own movie. You go through a phase. I was a video. I played a video. Yeah, I mean they had the show Blockbuster, or did I think it got
Mhm.
canceled, but I
Right.
still never watched it. I would love to. They had a show Blockbuster. That was about my life. That was, if you watch it, I guarantee I could laugh my ass off that show because I think they had some people who were Blockbuster involved,
Yeah.
and there were certain things you did, phrases you used as an employee, and
Mhm.
it was just like nostalgic fun.
Sure,
I
yeah.
imagine. Or strange movies. What's the weirdest? I really can't think of anything I haven't seen.
I watched a really weird movie that I actually loved, and I watched it
Like
in the
not well
block.
known.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not well
okay.
known. With a very well known actor.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was a Blockbuster days,
Okay.
VHS Blockbuster days.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
Please rewind.
I appreciate
Be
that.
kind. Please rewind.
We charge ass a
Brazil
dollage.
with De Niro.
Brazil.
Brazil. La, 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 la.
One I've never seen.
Really.
Never saw Brazil.
It is so strange. And another really strange one that I actually liked was, but it was so out there, was Being John Malkovich.
That was great. That was great.
Malkovich.
John Malkovich is brilliant. That movie, that was when I was in the epitome. Anybody who does acting gets in this, oh, I understand that creativity. I understand that phase.
Yeah.
Oh, I was dead in the middle of that. I'm like, brilliant. Being brilliant. Why is it brilliant? John Malkovich being John Malkovich in a John Malkovich film.
Malkovich.
Do you understand? Brilliant. And that's it. You just sit there like a dick and say brilliant. And people are like, oh, he's into film. He's totally into film. And then years later you laugh at it because it is. It's like we're all doing the same thing.
Right? Yeah.
I'm acting like a person going to the movie to watch an actor who's acting like
Right.
an actor.
Yeah.
That's it. We're all
I'm
actors.
acting like a member of BNI.
That's it. That's it. That's a new role. That's going from the field to the office in
Right.
plumbing. That's a new role, a character shift, if you will. It's like Christopher Lloyd going from driving the cab to running the cab hub to being the Danny
Absolutely.
DeVito
Yeah,
of Taxi.
yeah, absolutely.
Um,
That was a
Taxi.
good show.
Okay, there's one. What'd you say? Not Laverne and Shirley.
Grease.
Grease.
Yeah.
Grease.
But Happy Days.
They actually made a TV show years later. Grease. They kind of
Yeah.
spread it out.
Yeah,
What
I
about
know.
TV shows they turned into movies like Taxi? They didn't follow the
Okay.
script very well.
TV shows that
But
turned into movies.
TV shows,
Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah.
with Johnny Knoxville
Mhm.
and Sean William Scott, I believe.
Yes.
Willie Nelson's in it. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Mm-hmm. I didn't
One of
watch
the-
it, but
Oh,
I've
you didn't
seen-
watch it? Oh,
Uh-uh.
freaking hilarious! It was honestly hilarious, and they do. It's. I want to say they go through Atlanta
Oh.
in the General Lee.
21 Jump Street.
21 Jump Street. Johnny Depp made a
Yeah.
cameo at the very end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about those? What about those movies? Anybody have one of those that they remember seeing? They wanted to see. They
any
loved?
of the two viewers?
Khaki Doc, oh my God. Shout out to Ross Hammond. And I will tag you in this later, buddy. My mom was not a perverse woman, I guess. But after hearing this story, she totally was. She would walk into my coworker, Ross especially. I think she molested a few of my coworkers over the years. Yes, he's so
That's so
look at her, and
sweet,
so
says Bunny.
young and married to one of my
Bunny, that's
friends.
so
My mom was
sweet.
like that lady Stifler's mom.
Yeah.
She was like, "Hey, how you doing?" It's like, "Mom, these are my
Stacy's
boys or
mom
whatever."
Has
She
got it
right.
going on.
If Stacy's mom was my mom,
Yeah.
but she would walk in and go, "Oh, Ross, those stalkers are just fitting you really well," and Ross is sitting there like, "Oh, hey, Mrs. Hey, buddy, how you doing?" And he was cool, and he wasn't shy. Like this kid was a player. This kid, like, good-looking Scottish kid, man. Awesome personality out the yin, accepted everybody. He wasn't like he could have been the football dick, you know,
Yeah.
because I was a big kid when I worked at Blockbuster.
Mhm.
He could have been that, oh, hey, fat kid. He was not. He was like,
He was a
hey,
nice
come
guy,
by,
yeah.
man, we're having a party this weekend.
Cool.
And that kid. But my mom would just like everything short of like against the wall. What are you carrying? What is this? And thank you so much for not pressing charges, Ross, because she was just, oh my gosh. But yeah, the khaki doctors on all the workers.
All right. So before we run out of time,
Yeah. We have time already.
the 3 minutes.
Wow.
What are you looking at, Dick knows?
Okay.
I don't know
did
what
anybody
movie.
anybody get it?
No.
Okay.
I was here when you said it.
The character's name was Styles.
Style.
He was the best friend of the lead character.
Was it American Pie?
They went van surfing.
No, I don't know.
It was a story about a boy who realizes his family has a heretical curse, but it's a comedy.
I don't know.
Starring the young Michael J. Fox,
Oh, was it Werewolf?
and it was later turned
Teen-
into
Teen
a
Wolf.
television show
Teen
called
Wolf.
Teen Wolf.
Woo!
Yes.
I finally got it.
Actually, look up Teen Wolf cast real quick and see who played Styles, because I cannot.
Okay,
one
one
thing on his
more
name.
quick
But
question.
yeah, this is from
Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf. Yeah, the original
So one more question.
movie.
What movie
Put movie cast.
or movies do you wish you had never wasted the time on, that it was so dumb?
Life, honey, do you remember this movie, Life of Lucky Cucumber?
What? Why
Yep.
would you even pick that one out?
Okay. Tell yours, because I got to look it up. Hang on. Jerry Levine.
Levine, yeah.
Levine.
Yeah.
Jerry
Oh
Levine.
yeah, he did say that.
He was.
I remember now.
He had the shirt on that said, "What are you looking at?" He had a couple shirts. He had like obnoxious. I forget what it said underneath. And then he had a couple of them, and they're all available on Amazon. Do me a favor and look up Life of Lucky Cucumber while she tells me.
And my other
what
my
was your
one,
like? Oh God,
Dumb and Dumber.
The first one.
Yeah, I love Jim Carrey,
Really?
but Dumb and Dumber just I was
Really?
like, why? I will
Okay.
never get that 2 hours back.
Dumb and Dumber. Third guy, go down. Okay, Dean Bacher.
Okay, Lucky Cucumber.
Dian Bachar. He played Squeak in a movie called Basketball, which was the guys Trey Parker, Matt Stone, that did South Park.
Okay.
They did this movie, and he's a short stature, and small frame,
Mm-hmm.
and they made fun of him relentlessly through this entire thing. He slept in a drawer. At one point, they have a fight in the movie, and it's
Okay.
like, you know what? You're not my best friend anymore. So he goes over to like this pull-out drawer under a water bed or a bunk bed or something,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, "Get up, Squeak, or bitch, you're my new best friend." And this guy pops up, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm his best friend." They just belittled the crap out of this guy in the movie, and he did so well. So I see him in this movie called Life of Lucky Cucumber.
Okay.
Life of Lucky Cucumber
Okay.
in 2009. How's the running time? I'm gonna go down a little bit. What's the running time? It can't be long.
Yeah, Shannon
It
said
is
she'd
one
never
of
get
the
that 2 hours back.
and it wasn't even 2 hours because we did. That's one of the few films in my entire life I watched it. We watched. There was a Dwayne Johnson movie with Sean William Scott. Do you remember that one? And we watched it, and it was like, what the hell? And turned it off. But then years later, I literally sat down and watched it
Yeah.
and got through it. I still have wouldn't clue what that movie was about. Lost. But Life of Lucky Cucumber is one that I never went back for, and actors and the directors in it, it was nobody's fault but mine. But holy shit, that movie sucked. Yeah. So all right, yeah, you're so sweet. Boyfriend can't hear. We managed to get everybody's comments.
Yeah.
Movies. That was a lot
Yeah.
shorter than I thought it
So,
would be because there's
yeah,
just so
Richard and Shannon and Bunny, tell your friends because
Yeah.
y'all are the only ones here. So.
Richard, Shannon, Bunny, tell your
Tell
friends.
your friends.
We're gonna have wait till you see the numbers on the people who watch it later in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's gonna be up there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're gonna keep this ship rolling as long as we can.
Yeah. Have a great week.
And also we should be having a guest soon. We spoke
Mhm.
to having guests on.
Mhm.
Mr. Keith Somerville
Mhm.
is going to be our first guest.
Yes.
My lovely co-host may be going out of town, so
Mhm.
we may have a what is that? A
A
special
guest host. Yes.
A milestone.
A
And
milestone.
Miss
Guest
Audrey
host.
Blanchard from Blanchard Wellness.
She would like to be on.
She would like to be on the show as well. So we're
Mhm.
gonna have a few guests in the next couple months. So please stay
Yeah.
tuned and let us know what you want to see, all three of you. And we'll see you next week.
Peace out.